Nice to be back in the neighborhood. Tell me about why you're in town, obviously, other than watching football.
Oh yeah, well, I came to support Doug and the team. Grambling night through and through. I want to see if we can improve from last year because, of course, I was very disappointed and depressed for most of the fall and winter season. So I was hoping these guys could come up and do better. I love this school. I love what Doug is doing with the boys. I just want to do better,
Well, there's no such thing as excuses in football, but he had a lot of young guys last year and had some injuries hurt him. Give me your assessment. We didn't get a chance to see all of it today, but give me your thoughts on where you think they go from now.
They kind of remind me of the Cowboys, to tell you the truth. They need a better defense. They need strength on the offensive line, definitely. I saw some good improvement out here in the running game, thank God. I saw some guys making some plays and opening up some holes, and that needs to be something more that they need to be consistent with throughout the season because, as far as they're concerned, they are going to be a power running team. That's what Doug likes to do because he doesn't want to put his quarterbacks in tough situations consistently throughout a ball game.
Couple guys that seem like they stuck out. Philip McClain, your two JUCO linebackers, Nicholas People seem to be hitting some people.
Well, you know what? Nicholas People has had a pretty good camp. And you're right, the two JUCO linebackers did exactly what they've been doing all spring. You can see them running. You can see the speed. Running back, a little foursome hit up in there, but you also see where Skinner is that tough running. Martin came through. And you also saw Anthony McGee, who look like to me is a different Anthony McGee the way he's running the routes now. So, that's a good feeling, but we still got to get better on the receiver. We dropped some footballs. We didn't line up right. It's a lot of things we didn't do, but it's a lot of things we did well.
Hey, Doug, not having a chance to see the whole scrimmage today, I know one of the things you got to do, too, is beef up that offensive line a lot, huh?
Feel pretty good about the offensive line. The guys that are here and the guys that's on the way. We got two junior college guys that'll be here once the season kicks off, and we got about 4 or 5 young freshmen to come in here that, to me, look like Grambling. And that's the whole idea, is get the kind of linemen that we've been used to, and a couple of them going to be young, but they got some experience, and they're ready to go. So I'm not as worried about them at this stage if I would have been if those guys was here and we was at this stage.
You said that somebody needed to step up in the running game. What do you think did that today?
Well, I think the running game, Skinner showed that he can run the football. I think Jawan Martin did a good job, and Forson, to me, probably had the best spring from practice and today. He might not got as many opportunities today, but the spring practice has been good for him. So feel pretty good from the running back standpoint.
What about DJ, Doug? Just about his progress during the spring
DJ
today?
has had a good spring. I think today he didn't do some things that we've been talking about that he's been doing in spring practice, and that's getting the ball out of his hand. I think he got stuck looking downfield a few times rather than hitting the guys that are open in the flat. And that's one thing we're trying to tell both of them, that the running back can catch the ball at 5 yards and give you 15 more, and sometimes it's better than throwing it 15 yards down the field.
Hey, Doug, apologize if somebody asked you already about the defense, but for what we saw, they look pretty on top of things.
You know what? I feel pretty good about the defense, and the good part about it, we got some help on the way there too. We have a middle linebacker that's coming from the JUCO, Rod Stevens, who I think going to step it up with the 2 guys we already have from the JUCO and the 3 young linebackers that we brought in here last year. Talking to Dirk Winston, he feels that from a linebacker standpoint, we're real strong. I think the defensive front, we're going to be young, but we got a couple of JC guys that's going to help us there. So we're going to be a lot better than what we were today, and I think that's the most important thing.
You mentioned that you wanted your wide receivers to catch the ball a little bit more today, so how do you think you're going to get to that?
Well, wide receivers need improvement. It's obvious. We had 2 balls that was dropped that went for interception right in the hands of the wide receiver. That's something that we can't afford. We dropped a few balls and laid them on the ground. I think we had probably, I would say at least about 4 dropped passes, and you can't do that during the course of a football game.
What's the number one thing you like about the spring, and then the number one thing you just got to work on and get better?
Well, I think overall the tenacity and the enthusiasm of these guys. Every day they came out here and worked hard. They did everything that we asked them to do, and we was up tempo, a lot more up tempo this spring. I did like that part of it. But I still think, we get stuck in the mud sometimes when we execute and the few goes off and we don't do the things that we need to do. We made some mistakes. We had a young fullback who I think and that's Thomas, who had a good spring, but I think today with a crowd watching, he caught that ball in the flat and didn't realize that he could get hit in the flat and he coughed it up. I mean, those are things that we got to be prepared for, and I think that's the most important thing.
You mentioned not having a real outside target last year. You made a couple plays down the field, even if it maybe a penalty or two called some of it back. But Bailey and you feel like you found some of those outside targets.
I'm not so convinced, but I could say this, that Bailey has really had a good spring. He stepped it up. I still think we got a couple of young guys that can come in here and give us a little of that old speed on the outside, because McGee and Domino, once he start concentrating on the football rather than trying to run before he catches it, are going to be good guys inside. And the guy that has probably impressed me more actually is the tight end and Birdsong.
Mm-hmm.
Birdsong learning how to run routes. He's tough. I think before he leaves here, he's going to be a pretty good tight end.
Afternoon.
I think it was okay. A little slow, a little sluggish from the beginning, but I think we picked it up a little bit. We definitely have a lot to improve on, but I think overall we did okay.
I wanted to tell you a little like the defense kind of shined today.
Definitely, man. I said from the beginning our defense was a lot more physical, and you saw a lot of big hits out there, man. It's a whole different attitude. And, I mean, today, we were on a different team, but standing back and looking at it, I love it. I love it, man. I love it.
Your dad made a comment about the offensive line. Feels like he's going to be a little bit more confident about things when the fall rolls around. But give us your take since you stand behind them.
Those are my guys, man. No matter what, man. Those are my guys. They stand behind me, and I'm going to stand behind them. I know we got some incoming freshmen in. I'm going to let the coaches deal with, what they're going to do with that. But those up there, those are my guys.
How do you feel about the running game? Coach was saying it's one of the things that you guys want to sort out, someone to take a leadership role on the head position. So how do you think stepped up to that?
Oh, man, as everybody can see, Juwan Martin stepped up. Juwan Martin, man, he's been working hard all offseason. He's been working hard in practice this spring, and I think he shined today.
What about your own confidence, Big J, and just the way you played today? Do you feel more comfortable?
I definitely feel more comfortable. Just my third time around, incoming junior, I feel a lot more comfortable with the plays, with the guys even, and just comfortable with the feeling of the game.
Coach was saying he can't really assess the confidence of the team overall, so just ask you that. How do you think the confidence of the team is right now after this spring?
We're still a confident group. We still, have a lot to prove, but we're still pretty confident. We always preach faith every day, and that's what we have.
Seems like you were able to go downfield a little bit more today. Maybe even a couple plays that got wiped out by penalties, but Bailey down the field. You feel like that's an improvement this spring?
Definitely. I feel like we didn't have enough big plays last year, and I feel like today kind of showed that we have big playability.
And then Doug had said that you and Jonathan maybe holding the ball a little bit too long today. Is that something that obviously you work on a lot to try to get out of your hands a little quicker?
I agree. We held the ball a little bit too long, but that's what practice is for. It was a couple of miscommunications on some, but I put it on myself to get rid of the ball, and I definitely should have got rid of the ball a couple of times. Even throwing it away, I get in my mind sometimes that getting rid of the ball is always a completion. It's not always a completion, and sometimes you got to live to fight another day.
Coach was saying that that's the next step he wants you guys to take is for the receivers to catch a couple more balls. So what do you think it's going to take for you guys to have the chemistry on the field and really showcase it in front of the defense?
This summer is going to be huge for us. This summer, just everybody getting together, working together, staying here for summer school, and just working every day to build that rapport and just, build confidence in each other. If I got confidence in them and they have confidence in me, man, it's going to be let's drop off.
You feel like y'all have more